Fast forward, you come out channel so have age political stories are a trending big question making headlines. Na jemre na EDB exum ewa ni dem ya hombrak mu Mr. said yanko yensimu. Onu ya bo ebra yensimu a Dr. Bawumia amra no mo tumi so no omo power no. Onu ya road contracts ahodo bi a omo award edema ne advisor Bawumia advisor and a wealthy a year $45 million yeah one untouched road na me no ka say abaye bedwasere da onua agibia edbi x wo na mesro say yemon ransem abrabudafo atrase na nsem omo ebo yinchire.
I respect it. I think you must look at the composure of a government to determine government intent. The NDC government, I mean proudly so, for 1 year, 3 months, does not have any scandal or any wrongdoing impugned on any appointee howsoever. And that is a mark of leadership. In this discussion, I've heard Prosěcuťiǒn rant. I mean, he makes me sometimes, I mean, he reminds me of when I was in opposition. I've heard him rant in the most emotional way without supporting it with facts.
No,
and
you say they're clutching at straws for scandals.
No, and where he sought to support it with facts, I mean, he completely missed the point. I think we've done the work Prosěcuťiǒn is doing before. It can be done with mathematical precision. And I encourage him to take his time. See, he makes an assertion that the cost of feeder road in their time was $500,000. And he sought to say he has the document. Prosěcuťiǒn, sometimes you need to drink water and take your time.
So he has a contract.
His Minister of Roads, Asenso watching. And that is the reason why he didn't speak. That's a low reference. Awarded a road contract in his constituency, Bantama. I have the document here.
You have a document?
Yes, I have the document here with me.
Let's go slow on the name of the contract.
And for the 10.5 kilometer of roads he awarded, the total cost of the road was $164,000. Divide that and tell me whether that's
164 million.
164 million. Divide that.
Bantama.
Yes, divide that and tell me if it's 500,000. Your original chairman, Chairman Undone, who is seeking to be your national chairman, and one of 2Bawumia's advisors, was awarded Cocoa Road, or he's not an advisor to 2Bawumia.
Please
now,
make your
they
point.
can't claim Chairman Undone. 2Bawumia's advisor was, and one of 2Bawumia's close advisors and confidants, was awarded Cocoa Road for $45 million for a 20 kilometer. He should do the math.
Cocoa Road?
Yes. For $45 million and it was 20 kilometers. He should do the math and tell me if that is. I mean, we have been doing this work. It is too simplistic if you take the approach. It ought to be backed by research. If you want to take a government on, merely combining words and using flowery language would not put pressure on government. You need to come with facts. And then when you say what? The NDC is a very hypocritical party, and his basis is that first, we said that the Russia-Ukraine did not have an effect in the world, and that now we are saying that the Israel-Iran war has an effect. Maybe you have forgotten. From 1957 to 2016, nobody did politics with external shocks and external factors. So check your history. I know there are historians in this party. Political parties will come on TV and debate. Nobody reference external source. It was your 2Bawumia who said because of his PhD in economics, he had discovered a new economic theory that external factors did not have effects on local and reference Côte d'Ivoire. Have you forgotten his famous video? In his famous lectures, he introduced that discourse. What we were doing was subjecting you to our own test and asking what changed. So don't come and call us hypocrites. The NDC is focused. I mean, he has used a number of words, scammers and all that. We in the NDC, you know what we think? We think that when we have access to people's power, we should not censor how they describe us, even if it's unfounded. So I will not attack him, or I will not say that. I mean, he can use every word. But as we sit here, there is no government appointee that you, by any stretch of inference, can say that this person has engaged in acts of corruption. I can sit here and point to you that your finance minister cannot even sit in his own country and enjoy fufu.
Which finance minister?
Ken Ofori-Atta.
Okay, the former finance minister.
The former finance minister cannot even sit in his own country and enjoy fufu. Why? He should be telling us why. That a man who lived his wife and wore all his wife's kaftans in Ghana, all of a sudden does not think that it is appropriate to wear white kaftans. I think that the role of the opposition, and rightly so, is to question government. But that will have to be done within the fact. What assurance I can give to the people of Ghana is that the NDC takes a different approach to governance, that we welcome dissenting opinion, that we hear people when we talk and we say that this is a feedback to us in government, that we will not sitting on the throne of power be so submerged in power that we have forgotten that people have plight. It is in the spirit of that the NDC says that in 24 months, communities must have access to roads. It is in the spirit of that the NDC says that it is important to stabilize the macroeconomic indicators for all citizens to benefit. And so when civil society raise issues, when other people question government intention, we will have the time to explain. But let not those who in the past told us that there was absolutely nothing wrong when we were even questioning, when we said that, hey, you guys should pause and perhaps even give us an explanation. We used to come to this studio. Government communicators will not even allow you to make your point. Today, Kofi Tonto is sitting here quiet and allowing me to speak. Government communicators will not even allow. You dare not even question government communicators.
I don't understand.
They were swallowed in arrogance and pride. They will hear nothing but for themselves. Their notes were prolonged to the extent that they could not see the plight of people. When we complain about food, they will go and import food and bring it to the Ministry of Agri that we should come and buy. When you complain about National Cathedral, they will tell you the president wants to serve God. When you complain about contracts being given to presidents, families, and cronies, they will tell you that's why are they not qualified. The NDC takes a different approach. While in government, we do not seek perfection. We will make mistakes as long as it's a human institution. This is not even a mistake. And let me conclude by saying that if their target is the roads minister, maybe they haven't had time to do reorganization as a party. You know, they were using the bottom-up approach. So they haven't had time to do reorganization and go to the base and the communities. The roads minister, as we speak, is one of the ministers with the highest ranking. Why? Everywhere there is road construction. Where I used to stay, Community 25.
Community 25?
Community 25.
You evaded the traffic since you came to government?
The traffic is still there. But I'm saying that you can see that work is progressing. You just came to do touches and left the road. The government of Ghana is working. The government of Ghana is committed to listening to the citizens. But let's not people throw dust in your eyes. Where the government is, we will admit. Roland, let me conclude. You know it's been long since I came.
This is your third time.
You cannot conclude because of your position.
This is your third time saying you have to conclude. Please.
Solo will give me 2 minutes of time. No, so the government of Ghana...
We have a medical
So I'm saying that as an opposition, they ought to be responsible. This morning, my expectation of an opposition party, as we did in the past, was that when you were coming to the studio, you will bring us that this contract is related to this person and that this contract would have costed this and it's costing this. Then we can be having a discussion. If the basis is that because the NDC in the past criticized, then I think the government hasn't done so bad. If the only basis of the NPP is that, no, we do not allege corruption. We do not say that you have done something wrong. We do not say that you have breached any law. In fact, we are not imputing any motive. Our only basis is that because you said this in the past, then you shouldn't be doing that. Then I think that Ghanaians, you are in safe hands.
You have actually impugned corruption. And I gave you an example, which he sought to clarify. She sought to clarify because now she's a mathematician and a precision master. But when she was trying to compare my analysis to what Asenso Boache supposedly did, she made a grave error.
You mean the contrary in Bantam?
Yes. Because you see, Ghana, we have different types of roads. We have inner city roads.
That's an urban road.
Yes, we have city roads. We have, feeder roads. We have highways, and we have trunk roads. My analysis was based on feeder roads. You don't compare urban roads to feeder roads. So that is the first error you make. You don't compare urban roads to feeder roads because by its name alone and its position or location alone, even the quality of build is different.
So that's what I was averting your mind to.
No.
That
Pay attention to the point.
That each road and the specific bill of quantity and the scope.
Pay attention to the point I made. My initial submission was emphasized on feeder roads. I was not talking about all roads.
So how much was urban roads?
Please.
So feeder roads, they have culverts, they have bridges,
I
and
understand
all those things
all
also
of that.
increase, yeah.
I understand all of that. And that is why I referenced you. That you cannot tell me that during our times we didn't do culverts. We didn't have topography issues or geological issues.
Very well.
Nobody can sit here and tell me that only during Mohammed's time that the scope of work mattered. The scope of work has always mattered at every material time. And all the roads we did, the feeder roads we did, came with scope. Some even included building extra facilities outside. Some even include ancillary works. So I am conversant with roads, the scope and the nature of the roads. I used feeder roads. So you don't compare urban, because let me give you a typical example. Feeder roads, they're built by nature, by its nature and location alone. The quality is different from urban roads. Urban roads will be asphalt surfacing. Feeder roads will be bitumen surfacing. Something like we call...
Our new road experts. So what is wrong with these current roads?
Please.
That you must
I have not said anything.
You must answer.
Please pay attention. I have not said there is anything wrong with the road.
Thank you.
I am telling you that we are not talking about the quality of the road.
Well, feeder roads until recently, they didn't put in the asphalting. It's only recently they started doing the overlays.
So the point that I'm making to you is that we have feeder roads, and by name of feeder roads, there is a description of the type of work that goes in. So don't compare city roads to feeder roads. That's the point I'm making to you. It's a wrong comparison.
But Cocoa roads mostly are feeder roads.
But I'm saying she cited Bantama. She cited Bantama. Bantama is different. I'm saying that don't do that comparison.
Do you have the scope of the current road that you say that there is something wrong? Because if you are a road expert, I want to learn. I'm not a road expert. The last time I checked, I'm a lawyer by profession. He is a road expert.
I'm not a road expert. You sat here and discussed all issues. Are you expert on all of those issues? Are you a procurement expert? When you were saying, bitches, when you were saying NPP was running a procurement economy, were you a procurement expert?
That's what you were doing.
Were you a procurement expert? Look, you said that in your first year, you are going to amend the Procurement Act to do away with sole sourcing, end it, cut it. That is what Ablakwa said. Please, I have the video.
In the first
I have the video. I've never, no, please.
Allow Kofi to make his point. Sorry, I can wrap up. Please wrap up for me.
I quoted several people. You keep distorting me. I said President Mahama said rare exception. And then I said Ablakwa said cut it. So don't confuse or don't lump all of them together as one thing. I quoted several people. And I said Sami Jenfi, your boss, said we are stealing money. And Oferipenyin fear people are stealing money. I was categorical. Don't lump it. So the point is, you promised. Ablakwa said in your manifesto, you are going to put it in. Now, Solo, let me come to you. You, Solo, you belong to a political party. which political party went to the Ghanaians to seek for power and got 33,000 votes. Okay?
You are mocking the votes they
I'm
get.
not mocking in it. I'm just telling him the fact.
What has the 33,000 they got to do with the analysis we're doing?
I'm just saying. The point I am making is that when you went to Ghanaians, you went on the back that the government was not the best, the alternative, which was NDC, was not the best, and that you are the best to lead the country. Okay? Then NDC wins power, comes into power, and the very ills that you criticized NPP for, NDC is doing same and worse.
While you were monitoring him.
Why? I've known Solo for a long time. The very ills you criticize NPP for, NDC is doing same and worse. Instead of condemning it, you are sitting here with your kaftan, telling us that NDC... Oh, please. You guys are this.
This is a political suit. This is a political suit.
Okay.
Please
You are sitting here telling me that we shouldn't talk.
So now you are attacking.
No, I'm not attacking.
You want to?
I'm not.
This is an emotional attack.
No. So there. Oh,
that's your conclusion.
But the point, let me wrap up.
No, you're wrap up. Kofi Tonto, I've given you enough time.
Let me wrap. So the point I am making is this. You cannot continue to do politics and campaigning. Campaign is over. You cannot continue to defend the NDC and cite examples on their behalf. The point I am making to you is that they promised a reset. They said everything we did was bad. So I don't need to reiterate the so-called bad things we did.
Okay.
So don't cite all of those things as your basis to argue.
Well, you see, it's rather unfortunate.
This one, you didn't tell me thank you.
Oh, sorry, thank you.
The truth of the matter is that there is a young singer. I like his song. He said, "Thy favor or soul." One of his beautiful renditions, the plants in Ashiegu.
Plants.
When you are done, play that.
Plants na Ashiegu.
Jandam na Ashiegu. Sidini na Ashiegu.
It's on TikTok, yeah.
It's a lovely piece. My brother Kofi Tonto.
What's your point with
the point I'm saying is that you decided to go and do Jandam. I'm an opposition party. I'll be the last person to defend
just
the
hold on.
NDC.
Edu Jesus should tell you that you're not serious. How can you describe this as kaftan? Why?
When I'm wearing a political
He
suit,
just said, Edu Jesus I should tell you.
I don't blame him. He just came out of power. He has all the money. Poor Mr. Usu. I'll wear my kaftan.
He's taking a dig.
No side. But you decided to describe my kaftan. So I wear it. But don't worry. Like what I'm saying is that this attempt, I have seen what the NPP wants to do through their communicators. When they go on various platforms, they try very hard to try to link me to the NDC. But you see...
You think they're doing Jandam?
Yes, but the Ghanaian that is listening, they know my history. I'm not a perfect human being, but one thing for sure is that when something goes with my conscience, I will say it as it is. And on this occasion, the Minister for Roads and Highways has not done anything wrong. You understand? He is just somebody who is being pursued by a group of people who feels that he is working so hard to uplift the image of this country. Either than that, look.
Kofi Tonto, please don't disrupt his flow. We want to do a next conversation.
Kofi Tonto, probably he has to be given a lot of historical facts to come to terms with what his party did to us. In 2016, you know the Flower Pot Road, the overhead, that contract was awarded in 2016.
Yes.
At a cost of 69.5 million.
As part of the airports.
Yes. Get the figure, 69.5 million.
Million what?
Ghana cedis.
Okay. 69.
This was in 2016. By 2017, somewhere September or August, then the NPP administration led by Nana Akufo-Addo and his board, Dr. 2Bawumia, had reviewed the contract to 147 million cedis.
Same contract?
Same contract. There has not been any adjustment. There has not been any variation in design. 147 million.
Roland,
now,
I'm telling him that he's lying.
Now, you see, that time the project was not completed. And guess what?
Do I get a chance to respond to this?
Commission that project.
I'll respond to this.
I mean,
we ain't some who are team course watching on us. And I was a soldier. That's an so bad in the Dumbi Edomiania. Unia, Yabesan issue.